So finally we are here with our first podcast जिसमें हमारे गेस्ट हैं जिनका नाम है आकर्षित महाजन। और इस पॉडकास्ट में आपको सीखने को मिलेगा कि एज इज जस्ट अ नंबर इफ यू वांट टू स्टार्ट अ बिजनेस और इफ यू वांट टू बिल्ड अ बिजनेस और इफ यू वांट टू स्टार्ट ऑन योर ओन। तो आपको पता चलेगा कि आप अगर कॉलेज में हैं, अगर आप स्कूल में हैं, तो एज इज जस्ट अ नंबर। और एज एक एक्सक्यूज़ भी हो सकता है सिर्फ आपके लिए अगर आपने अभी तक कुछ स्टार्ट नहीं किया है बिल्ड करना। और इट वॉज एन अमेजिंग पॉडकास्ट और मैं सजेस्ट करूंगा आपको कि आप नोट्स ज़रूर बनाइए क्योंकि काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें हैं इस पॉडकास्ट में सीखने के लिए। I'll meet you soon. Just enjoy the podcast.
Okay, you are from Chandigarh, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay, so I just found you on YouTube, like probably like last week शायद। और फिर मैंने देखी आपकी कुछ वीडियोस जिसमें आपने 10 रुपीज को कन्वर्ट करा था 24 आवर्स में।
Right.
Yeah.
That was a good one actually. So starting में it was like whether I should do that challenge or not. Even if I was not successful, then people would complain that why even you are putting that video out on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it was manageable for me to do that. It was not exactly 1 lakh rupees in the starting. It was about $1,200 which I received the payment for back then. But the rest of the amount was going to be paid later, so I got that. Yeah.
I saw your tweets as well, for Alex Hormozy's book, $100 million.
Right.
I'm currently reading that book. Just how
that's a great one actually. Like everyone, I would say should read that at least. It's most important for those who are actually dealing in service-based businesses. I would say like who are doing freelancing or maybe are involved in B2B businesses. It's the most important book you should read this year, I would say.
Yeah, it says a lot about how to structure our offers and how to present our offers in front of the market.
Right. Yeah. It's
So how was your journey? What's your age, by the way? How old are you?
I'm currently 19.
You are 19. I am 19. I am also 19.
Oh, all right. That's great.
But you have learned a lot than me. That's amazing.
I've been actually in the online world, I would say, after I got introduced to this online business world in late 2016, I would say end of 2016. So that was my introduction to first book which I read. Back then it was Rich Dad Poor Dad, of course.
Okay.
So one of my friends from the school itself, from my class itself, so he offered me to give that book and I actually read that. I partially read that back then, but it actually opened up the opportunities to look after into other things as well.
Yeah. So what was your age back then when you like started the online? I
was I think 13 or 14 maybe. I was in 8th standard.
You was in age. So how was your academic performance?
I would say up till 10th, I would say it was average. It was not that good, but 10th I scored somewhat good marks. 11th it again went very down because I wasn't really focused on my studies, but 12th I got some good numbers. So that's how it has been.
So are you like currently in college or?
I'm starting college. I'm starting college in September itself. Yeah.
Okay, which college?
I'm going to London actually. So it's King's College in London.
Okay, yeah, I saw your tweet about $2,000 rent, right?
Right. Yeah, it's a pain actually, like to pay that much money just for rent.
Yeah. So, like, when did you like start making the first? How did you made your first dollar? If we talk about that.
Well, it was a long back actually, I would say. So for the year 2017, I didn't make any money.
Okay.
I was learning the stuff because that's when I was actually like introduced. So it was back in 2016, maybe November or December, when I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Then whole of 2017 I spent basically my time understanding the whole stuff and all that stuff, and I also practically implemented stuff. I didn't know how to monetize this. I started with blogging actually. All right. So, blogging and side by side I was also doing YouTube. Both of those things completely failed. Then in 2018, we launched a website. It's actually live right now as well. So it's called Milin.com, MILYIN.com. So I launched with that friend only who gave me Rich Dad Poor Dad and a couple of others as well. So we launched that website. We actually monetized it. So it was Google AdSense which was working over there, but we didn't seem to make a lot of money there as well. So we barely made like $27 something like that in 2 months of starting that website, and then our Google AdSense account got banned. So so that was the money. We didn't even receive that because the threshold is of course $100 that you have to make $100 in your Google AdSense account, then only you will receive the money account, right? So 2018 it was. Then I was really very engaged in like doing the activities in the school. I would say I was focused on the academics back then. And then in the end of 2018, because it was 10th standard. So in the end of 2018, about I think after my exams in September, I launched another website. It was basically a travel blog because I have traveled to a lot of places, I would say. So I thought, why should I not share about my travel journeys and all that stuff? So it was called travelonatory.com. It failed as well. Then I started taskdream.com. That also failed. I was on finances and all that stuff. So I ranked for a couple of keywords. For example, on Google itself, I ranked for like 3rd or 4th position for the keyword how to make money online in India. Alright, for that keyword, I actually ranked. It was taskstream.com. That also failed. Then in 2019, I actually went to a couple of events, and that's where I understood like how the advertising business basically works. So I learned about Facebook ads, and that's when I can say my actual online making money journey started in 2009.
So like where did you learn about Facebook advertising and all?
So like I would say I actually followed a couple of people on YouTube. So it was primarily all along the way, it was YouTube only from where I learned the stuff, the whole stuff, I would say. All right. So yeah, it was YouTube, and from there only I learned about like how to do Facebook ads, how to run an e-commerce business, because I have, you can say, involved in each and every type of business except for affiliate marketing in the online world. So yeah, like that's when I started understanding the ad stuff. Basically that if you are going to run ads, the technicalities of the ads, the structuring of the campaign, you can understand that in like 7 to 8 days. But what matters the most is the ad creative actually. So that's where I actually spent maximum of my time. So it was copywriting and all that stuff. So in 2019, I especially didn't do any work, I would say. I was like just reselling the stuff which other people were selling. It was not kind of affiliate marketing, but something else. All right. And by running ads for other people, and they were not paying me, of course. It was just for free for my understanding. All right. 2019, that was the thing. And 2020, I started to make a good amount of money, because that's when I started to launch a couple of drop shipping and e-commerce stores. All right. So in the whole year of 2020, I launched 3 e-commerce stores, because I was like I wasn't really engaged in any activity, because of course the COVID had started already in 2020 March. And I remember exactly the date. It was on my birthday when the first lockdown initiated actually. So so it was 22nd of May. We were thaliyan peet rahe the, and then 20 May was the first day of lockdown. I remember that was my birthday date.
So how was your feeling that day?
I was like, I had plans of going out with other friends and all that stuff, but a few days before that, Modi ji came live on TV and he said that we are going to initiate lockdown on 23rd of March, and I was like, what?
All plans failed.
So March, April went just like that, and then I started an e-commerce brand in the US. For the US actually, so it was a dropshipping brand. It was fairly successful, you can say. I made some fair profit from there. Then I started a print on demand brand in the US. All right.
So like you were doing Facebook ads, and along with that you were doing e-commerce, or it's differently? No.
It's the same thing only. So with e-commerce products, you run Facebook ads towards them only, So you run Facebook ads to those products.
Okay, so
it's one like this.
first you learn about Facebook ads, then you run your e-commerce, and then you apply those Facebook ads to e-commerce, right?
Right,
Okay.
absolutely. So moving ahead, I actually started my another print-on-demand store, which was in the US, and it was a successful one. I made good amount of money, and in September of 2020, I sold it for like $15,000 to a US-based company only.
Okay.
Then there is second print-on-demand store, which I started here in India itself. So it was in collaboration with my uncle only. So he has a factory in Jalandhar, actually in Punjab, and where he manufactures basically all sports items and all that stuff. So they had the resources and all that stuff, and they wanted to actually go online as well, because of course the COVID had started, and they weren't able to sell to the masses through the offline market, right? So they wanted to start on. That's where I helped them, and that has been running pretty well. But I exited from there. I didn't even start over this, and so then after that, my agency thing started actually.
Okay. So after that, you started your agency.
Right. So it was November of 2020. I was just like browsing on Facebook. I came across this guy who was actually like having a doubt related to his sales funnel. All right, and I commented under his post that here is how you can fix the issue, because I had some fair experience with sales funnels as well. All right, and that's when he reached out to me actually through Messenger on Facebook itself. And he told me that I want to get on a call with you, and I want to like fix this issue. So we jumped on a call. He asked me like, can you help me fix this issue and maybe drive traffic here, and I will pay you for that. So that's when I didn't even have any idea. So it was an accidental journey that I closed my first MA client, I would say. So I closed for $1,100 in the first client.
Okay, so you made your first ask for $1,100, or he said that?
No, I actually said myself $1,100. I didn't even have in mind like what to pitch actually. Alright, so he was like a fairly successful businessman. He had actually like scaled his e-commerce store to like $1.5 million back in 2020 in lockdown itself. So I was like, what? Then I think I thought like first that I should charge like $3,500, but then the imposter syndrome came in mind that I shouldn't charge this much because I'm just starting. I don't have any results specifically for sales funnels, right? So that's when I said like I will charge $1,100, and he paid like $600 in November. So it was one time only. He paid $600 in November, and then the rest of the amount was paid to me, which was $500 the next month exactly in December.
Okay. Then that's how it started. Then you started your journey with your agency.
Yeah, so I worked with him for 1 month during that phase, and it got some great results for him. His conversion rate basically on the sales funnel increased. Then in December, I didn't even have any idea like how the agency business works. I researched a lot about agency business. December and January, both the months. Alright. Then in February, I actually started to search for more clients like through Facebook only, because that was the platform I was familiar with.
Sorry to interrupt you, but if someone wants to know that how this agency work and how someone can start an agency, marketing agency, then can you just elaborate it in a single line that how can someone start an agency and what it is all about?
Observe others who are in your industry and see what they did in the starting to acquire clients. All right. That's in one line.
Okay. So it's okay.
So if I have to elaborate on that, I would say I have 5 steps, maybe 4-5 steps, something like that. So first of all, decide upon your industry niche. All right, in like what kind of service you want to provide and whom to provide that service to. All right. For example, you want to provide a copywriting service. You know copywriting very well. All right. Now you have to decide upon like whom to provide to that service to. All right. So there are a lot of people whom you can provide the copywriting service to. So you can decide like I want to provide specifically email copywriting service to SaaS business owners or software as a service owners. So that's a very specific industry. So you have to go very specific, at least in the starting. Then you can of course prod out. all right? So go very specific starting. Now the third step is basically to design your offer, like what is going to be your offer. So in this case, your offer can be something like I help SaaS business owners get more trials for their SaaS. Like you can say 127 more trials for their SaaS in the next 60 days, or their money back, something like that. Yeah. So elaborating on that, the third point is, of course, to identify like what kind of offer you want to provide. All right. So the offer can be something, I want to provide email copywriting service to SaaS business owners, and I guarantee them that I will generate them 127 more trials for their SaaS in the next 60 days. Or if I don't do that, then I will host the best dinner party, like I can host the best dinner party in the best restaurants in the best restaurant in their city, something like that.
So I have a question here. Like, what if someone just starting out with their agency, and they don't have any experience, and they don't have any money right now? So what would be the guarantee for them?
I would say go for working for free, I would say, in the starting, because like see, in my case, I've worked on a lot of different things. Like I've specifically worked in e-commerce before starting my agency. I already had the experience in e-commerce. I provided service to them. I would say before even like charging for your service, if you don't have any case studies, any resources at all, start pitching your service for absolutely free. Provide it to free for people. Alright, don't expect anything in return. Alright, but just make sure that you provide the best case study, and in return, you can ask those people, the clients whom you're going to provide the service to, ask them that in exchange, I want a video testimonial from you, something like that. Alright, so that one testimonial, if you generate them great results, if you get a great testimonial from them, then you can actually scale your agency like hell, I would say. See, social proof is the most important thing when starting an agency, when running an agency.
And when we have like a testimonial, then how should someone pitch a client? Like they should
that's pretty easy. Then you can actually discuss about your case study as well. Like I helped this and this person. This was the before condition of them, and this was the after condition of them after we worked with them, basically. So you can just compare the before and after condition, and you can tell them verbally as well, or maybe in the text itself, that how we tell them, and maybe you can create a document which is in a very detail, alright, about the case study you created, like how the results were, like how you generated them. So you can do that.
So like, and as you talked about the failures that you had back then with your 2-3 websites. So till now, what if we talk about the failure? Then what was your biggest failure if you talk about?
Biggest failure as such.
Yeah, and what did you learn from that?
See, I wouldn't classify anything as the biggest failure, because it was all the learning, I would say. All right, because each and every failure, I would say, is like particularly equivalent. I would say it was not like that some failure was like 90% and the other one was just 40%, something like that. I don't want to say something like that. I would say all of them were equivalent, because they were building the learning blocks for me. All right, I was able to connect dots, and then I was able to actually proceed further and make the biggest like advancements right now. So each and every failure you face, just remember to journal that first of all, like to remember that, like what happened there, what was the issue. All right, then make sure to see like what other people did in order to combat that struggle, similar kind of struggle. All right, and accordingly you combat that struggle, make that failure actually successful. All right, see, I learned to write back when I started with Task Dream, when I did the travelonator.com. all right, and that skill is really very valuable for me right now, because I do copywriting a lot right now. All right, I write a lot, so that has helped me a lot. So each and every step of struggle is really very important for your journey.
So and if we talk about when you send your first cold email, or when you send your first DM to your client, so did you have any fear of rejection, or like you didn't have any failure or something like that?
It's very genuine to have a fear of rejection in the starting for anyone actually starting out. All right, I also had that back in the day. All right, because I don't want to actually waste my money. All right. I don't want to be, because everyone has that fear that what if I end up wasting my money in this thing and it doesn't work out.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So that's when I had the expectation that in the starting itself, I expected myself to not create the emails that would work. All right. I
Okay.
didn't even have expectation from myself. I thought
Okay.
I was a dumb
Yeah.
person. I was a fool person who is reaching out to people, and I don't know what I'm doing. All right, that's what I thought. But definitely it worked out later. So don't have any expectation from yourself. All right, see yourself as the most ground level if you're just starting out. All right, don't think about the things which will happen to you 1 year later. Think about the things which will happen right now for you. All right,
Yeah.
stay to the ground, I would say.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. So, what do you think? Like, the mindset works the most in this case, or like the action works the most in this case?
It's a combination of both of them, I would say. It's like most people say it's like 70-80% mindset and 20-30% actions, but I would say it's the opposite. All right.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
20-30% mindset and 70% your actions. All
Yeah.
right. See,
I
mindset is something, yeah, mindset is something that you can learn from anywhere. Each and every person, each and every guru is telling you about mindset. You
Yeah.
know that this shit will work actually, but I have to do the action. I have to take the action. That's where the actions come in. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
The actions
So,
matter the most, I would.
yeah. Yeah. I also faced this scenario in my life a week or two ago. Like, just a week ago, that I was not sending the emails or sending the DMs to the clients. But then I thought that the mindset, what will happen if we just think all day long and don't take action, right?
Right. See,
yeah.
you will develop your mindset. You will update your mindset as you will actually work on that as you get the results. All right. So, for example, if you're just starting out, you will think of very highly that what other people are doing, and I can also achieve that thing as well. But everyone's journey is different, I would say. Or it start with something. When you acquire your first client of minimum $1,000, then you will realize what is the potential over here. All right. Then you will update your mindset to not to hit $10,000 first, but you will update your mindset to hit $5,000 first. Step by step, it is the journey step by step. All right. Then $10,000 will come, then 25 will come, and then 100,000 maybe will come. All right. So it's a step by step journey.
Yeah. So you also had like these goals for that. I have to hit $5,000 this month, or I have to hit $10,000 this month. You also had these goals,
No, I didn't particularly give myself a deadline that I have to hit 5,000 or maybe 10,000 before the state. But I always had in mind that if I can scale to 1,000, it's pretty easy to scale to 5,000 and 10,000 as well. But the thing is, like, I have to do it consistently and I have to reach out to people. That's what's matter the most.
So what are your reach out number? If we talk about that, how many cold emails do you send on everyday basis?
See, back in the day, I have a particularly slowed down cold outreach right now because we are at a stage where we cannot handle a lot of clients, so we are expanding the team as well for YouTube ads agency.
Yeah.
So back in the day, I would say it was all about the performance based emails. It was not like I was reaching out in numbers. I was reaching out to like 100 people a day. It was not like that actually.
Okay.
So it was basically reaching out with the good quality emails. And mainly my focus was on the offer itself. All right, because like when I started with my YouTube ads agency, I started to reach out back in March of 2021. I like everyone was starting with Facebook ads agency. All right. I thought like everyone is starting with Facebook ads agency, and it's such a big competition. It's such a saturated niche service to sell. So I thought, why not shift to YouTube ads, because that seems to work better right now, because Facebook ads was falling apart, right? Because of the iOS and all that stuff. So I thought, like, why not start with YouTube ads agency? And then I wanted to see like what kind of service, like to which kind of businesses I want to provide that service, that particular service. So YouTube ads, I identified that it is for high ticket sales, I would say, or it's for high ticket sales. So I thought I want to provide to e-commerce businesses only, but I want to provide it to high ticket e-commerce businesses. All right. So that's where I narrowed down my industry much more. Like I want to provide my YouTube ad service to only those who have a product of at least $500.
Okay.
All right. So those are the e-commerce brands I'm working with. I already work with e-commerce brands. I wanted to work with the e-commerce brands with high ticket sales, ticket deals. Right, so that's when I narrowed down my industry, and I specifically reached out to them, and the number was very low in the starting. I would say it started from 20 a day.
Okay.
All right, 20 emails a day to unique users, basically, because they have a very less number of high ticket e-commerce stores in the US, UK. All right, so I particularly in the starting started targeting only just the e-bike brands.
Okay.
All right. Okay, yeah, so that's started.
Yeah, I saw your video about it, about these e-bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And which platform do you use to find your leads, or I would say for clients? Like is it about Facebook, LinkedIn, or like Google?
See, when I started out, I didn't even know about the scraping platforms like scraping platforms, basically the softwares which can find us the details of the people. We were just doing it manually. So I co-founded with my agency, this YouTube ad agency, with one of my friends. Okay. All right, and like in the starting, we were just searching from Google itself. We were scrolling down to like 3rd, 4th, 5th page, and then extracting the leads from there manually. We were doing it by ourselves only. I didn't have any team member. Right? We two were doing it. So it was a start. It was grind in the starting. Then I was last year in like when we had 2 clients. All right. Then it was like I think July of 2021. That's when we actually started to use some softwares to extract the lists. Okay. All right. Yeah, so we used basically nowadays I would say Apollo is working, apollo.io. All right, that's something you can find the leads on. There is uplead.com. All right, then the other one is Lucia. Might have ads. All right, then you have the LinkedIn Sales Navigator as well. Then you have Rocket Outreach. So these are some of them. You can find your leads and potential prospects. Basically, you can filter down according to the number of like a number of employees they have in the company. You can also like narrow down with the funding amount or maybe the revenue they're making annually. And you can also like find the particular details of the CEOs, maybe the founders, co-founders of that company. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. So it's amazing journey that you have traveled and currently traveling right now. Yeah. And so how many clients, if you talk about the clients, then how many clients do you like currently manage? And one question before that for YouTube ads, do you also make YouTube videos for your clients, or you just made the scripts for that?
See, we just create the scripts. That's what I want to tell you. It's basically a stage by stage thing. So in the starting itself, we don't actually say the clients that like we will shoot the whole production video kind of thing for YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we just want user generated content in the starting, like your users, customers basically using your main product which you want to sell through. Alright, so that's where we shoot. We tell the clients, of course, to make their customers shoot the ad in a particular order. Alright, we give them the script and all that stuff. Of course, the customers are also like given some incentives on their next purchase, or maybe given some amount. Alright, because they already have thought that they can make the videos. Alright, they don't need to ship a high ticket product again. Alright, now we get the videos from them, we compile it in a way that it works good on YouTube's algorithm of like running ads. Alright, so the first 5 seconds of a YouTube ad is really very important. So that's like the primary focus for us. Alright, for the first 5, because the first 5 seconds you see that the skip ads option comes as well, like at the end of 5 seconds. Yeah, those first seconds are really very important to establish the hook and attract the right kind of audience. All right, absolutely. So that's how it works. Then once we scale them to a certain level, all right, then we actually like import the product whichever they have. All right, and then on what do you say, we have a partnership, like we have partnered with a media company here in Delhi itself, and we ship them the product and they shoot the video according to the script we give them. Alright, so they give like professional shots and all that stuff. So it's like a pain to actually import the product, because the import costs are also very high, but the client pays on it. Doesn't matter.
And what are your like future plans right now? Do you want to scale? Are you going to scale your marketing agency, or are you going somewhere else? Like I just saw your video that you're going for like into space stuff also, right?
Right.
So what are your plans?
For now, yeah, space stuff will actually come later in my life, I would say, because I see I'm really very keen in learning that stuff, the space tech stuff. I constantly read on that. All right, but for now I'm doing my agency, so I'm running 2 agencies right now. The first one is the YouTube ads agency, which I started way back in 2020. All right, the second one is the influencer marketing agency, so it's called Finch.io. And that's something I started in March of this year only.
Okay.
All right. So it's basically an influencer marketing agency where we partner with the creators and where we partner with the basically highly established, you can say, clients and startups to promote their basically softwares, maybe SaaS products, and maybe the apps as well on the creators channels. Mainly we are working with YouTube only because that's something I think I really know a lot about.
And if we wrap up right now, and if you want to teach something about the life and the action taking process for growth, then what would you say to 18-year-old kid or 18-year-old student that should
see I will not talk about the whole life. I will talk about the next 30 days. What do you have to
Okay. So what would you like to tell them or suggest them or advise them about, like,
so if you have about 3 to 4 hours available every single day for the next 30 days, here is what I would do. I would recommend you to do. Decide upon your niche. All right, decide upon the service. That's the same step. If you have some case studies, start reaching out to like 20 to 30 prospects a day through cold emails. You can use softwares like Instantly.ai, and you can also use Apollo and all that stuff. If you want the resources, if you want those softwares, you can just reach out to me for free. I will give you, for example, for sure. The next thing is what you need to do is find the prospects, create an offer, validate it from me, and you just start reaching out to those prospects. If you reach out to 20 to 30 prospects every single day, you can for sure close like a $2,000 at least client in the next 30 days. That's for those who have case studies already, who have worked in the industry. All right.
Okay.
Second is if you are just starting out, the same thing applies to you, but you need to actually design your offer in a way that you tell the people that you are going to work for free or maybe on a performance basis, that you deliver them the results. And once you deliver them the results, you charge on the basis of that. But in the starting, you don't charge any fee or upfront retainer or something like that. So that's something I would tell you to do for the next 30 days. Now for the life, see, I am not really experienced at that part because I'm just starting with my life. I would say I'm just 19, also 19. So we're just starting out. So I'm no one to actually give advices on the whole life. So I don't feel doing that.
No, I was just asking like, how do you see your life in a way, like how in general? If we talk about,
so I'm not planned out like what is my life going to be like, but ideally, like of course I'm going to first of all to London to do my studies and all that stuff. I'll be learning a lot. So my plan is to of course come back to India, I would say. I don't know how it will happen or what will happen. All right, and then after I come back to India, side by side, like in the next like 5 to 6 months, I'm going to also launch a startup. All right. So that startup will be launched, and probably I will be operating that from London itself, and the co-founder here in India himself. And so we will be launching that startup for the Indian subcontinent only. So only for India actually. So we'll be launching that startup. If it fails, then I will start another startup. If it succeeds, right, and then it can of course I will increase I will work wholeheartedly on that. I will work dedicatedly on that. All right, and maybe sell it out at some later stage if that if the valuation comes, like it's good valuation. Then in my early 30s, I have planned to get into the space tech industry. All right, so that's like the major goal I want to see, like so building space crafts and all that stuff. So that's something which I
So that was an amazing talk, brother, and it's so amazing to learn from you. It's so amazing, and it's great that you have provided so much in this like 35 or 40 minutes, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it's always great to actually converse with like-minded people. You don't get to realize like how the time passed by.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. I just
It
saw
was
the
nice
time
talking.
and I just saw the time and saw that it's 35 minutes. It's over 35 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. So talk to you soon, brother, and yeah, I wish you a great success in your life.
All right, man.
All right, man. It was great talking to you. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Meet you soon.
ऑलराइट, आई होप कि आपने काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें सीखी होंगी इस पॉडकास्ट में, और आई होप कि आपने काफ़ी सारे नोट्स भी बनाए होंगे, और आई होप कि आपको ये पॉडकास्ट काफ़ी अच्छी लगी होगी। जस्ट ड्रॉप मी अ कमेंट कि आपको ये पॉडकास्ट कैसी लगी, और लाइक दिस वीडियो इफ़ यू लाइक इट, एंड शेयर दिस वीडियो विद ऑल ऑफ योर फ्रेंड्स, ताकि उनको भी पता चले कि एज इज़ जस्ट अ नंबर, क्योंकि काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें हो सकती हैं अगर आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ चाहो और उस पर एक्ट कर दो। जस्ट बताइएगा मुझे कि आपको ये पॉडकास्ट कैसी लगी, और बताइएगा कि किसके साथ आप नेक्स्ट पॉडकास्ट देखना चाहिए। मीट यू सून, और जस्ट सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल, लाइक दिस वीडियो एंड शेयर दिस विद योर फ्रेंड्स। मीट यू सून।